Get over here!
Nice.
Ah, finally! Goodness gracious, we've been at that for a good, what, 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, that was a tricky one. I'd say that was a solid, 8 attempts.
Well, we finally got it after all this effort.
That one was just like an awkward spawn.
It really was, I commend anyone who figured this out, on their first time, because goodness gracious, I couldn't tell you. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 30 of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I'm the Green Scorpion.
I'm the ComicFoil.
And in the last episode, we pretty much finished up everything, for the most part.
Yeah.
We took care of the Spirit Temple, we took care of heading back to Hyrule Castle, and it turns out that, Zelda's whole thing was, she was with us all along.
Yeah.
The greatest princess was the one that was with us all along.
Yeah. The ninjas we met along the way.
Yep, there you go. Alright, so, let's turn this in. Oh, you brought a Poe today. Very interesting. This is a big Poe. I'll buy it for 50 rupees. On top of that, I'll put 100 points on your card. If you earn 1,000 points, you'll be a happy man. Wait a minute. Wow! You've earned 1,000 points! Young man, you are a genuine ghost hunter. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
I was thinking diddle-lana-dun-dun-dun-dun-lana.
Oh, you and I went in completely
Yeah.
different directions there.
You had the OG, though.
Yep. Is that what you expected me to say? Because of you, I have extra inventory of big Poes, so this will be the last time I can buy a ghost. You're thinking about what I promised would happen when you earned 1,000 points. Don't worry, I didn't forget. Just take this. So after all that ghost hunting, you get a bottle. Navi, are you aware of just how valuable these things are? They're glass bottles, Link. And do you have any idea how hard it is to find these? I'm not gonna comment on that.
Yeah, why is it so hard to get a bottle?
But you see them in shops all the time, though.
Yeah.
It's like they're right there
Yeah,
on the shelves.
People have bottles.
I guess these aren't just your average everyday bottles. They're advanced bottles.
Yeah. Can we take a look at that inventory screen now?
Yup. Complete,
Yeah.
sir.
Everything filled in.
I think everything, over here, too, because we also got the Big Goron sword. We have 100 Skulltulas. Everything here is filled in.
There's one great fairy we haven't visited yet.
That is true, but, we need to,
We'll need to start Ganon's castle.
Yep. I've never accomplished Ocarina of Time to this degree, man. Again, this will be the first time I actually ever truly 100% this game. Which, by the way, so for those curious, we are going to try and tie up a couple of loose ends here, as we start to finish up this adventure. One of them, a couple people pointed out that we missed a couple of chests in the Shadow Temple, as a matter of fact. So, thank you for letting us know that. I'm sorry that I wasn't paying attention to the map. I was busy having really, really good conversations about Shengon Wu with my best friend over here.
Yeah, they're probably just gonna be rupees, but you know.
Yeah, but
we've done so much, we might as well do this.
there's also one thing I'm actually very curious about, particularly because I don't know if it gets us anything, but it's up there, and it's we have a thing that we can move it now, and I'm curious about what it is, so I want to check it out.
Okay.
Ow.
Sorry, this thought just came into my head when we were talking about Link being a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
Danny Phantom Hourglass. That's it.
Oh my god.
That would be on Wheel of Fortune when they do the, before and after questions.
Yeah.
Under the rock was nothing.
Wow. They go out of their way to put a rock up here,
Yeah.
and there's not.
Yep, that was just a regular old rock.
Well, and here I thought I was gonna feel accomplished for a moment.
I didn't I completely didn't remember that rock even being here.
That's me with a lot of these games. Okay, so I gotta ask: are you the type of you're the type of gamer that I feel takes notes whenever they play a game?
I do often, yeah.
I am not. I usually like function on instinct, so it's one of those things where it's like if I am like going through a game and I'm like, oh, okay, make a mental note. A lot with me is mental notes. But it's one of those things where it's like, this is why I love Metroidvanias a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, hey, there's this one area that I can't explore anymore because I need a certain thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I went and go get the thing, and it's like, oh, I got the thing. I gotta go immediately back to that thing with that, like, I couldn't get before. So that's how I operate a lot of the time.
I do love the newer thing with Metroidvanias letting you put your own notes on the map.
Yes. I remember you and I were talking about it a little bit a while ago, but I was playing through Dragon Quest, right?
Yeah.
The Dragon Quest 3 remake, and one of the things that I really, really like about it is that it allows you to,
You said it was like memories.
Yeah, it's like, whenever you have a conversation with an NPC or, like, interact with something, you can press, I think, the start button to basically, like, literally make an in-game mental note about it.
Yeah.
So, I always thought that was cool, and I use that thing a lot, like, because it was like, oh, hey, mental notes about things that I don't have to keep track of in my mind anymore, so I can keep track of a lot more. So, there you go.
I have definitely become less of a note-taker in the modern era, where games have more tools within to help you remember things. Yeah, like the memory system, or you being able to put special markers on your map in like Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I still haven't gotten around to playing that game. How is that one?
It's a solid Metroidvania. I think you would like it. It's combat focused. There's a lot of like really crazy bosses. It's a lot about knowing when to dodge and when to parry.
I love me a good action game. And God knows I love Dead Cells.
It's got like combos, you know.
Ooh, okay.
You need to learn to mix up your lights and heavies to do certain things. So I think you'd like it.
Oh, you know me, brother. You know me.
It does the thing I really like in Metroidvanias, which is when upgrades when upgrades increase your maneuverability a lot, like you get things that change how you move, so that when you go back through areas, you can do it faster or cooler.
Oh, yeah.
In this case, a lot of the powers in Prince of Persia are like very like time focused, which has been a thing in Prince of Persia for a long time. You know, Sands of Time and stuff like that.
Of course.
The plot is basically that you're on this mountain that is having like temporal anomalies. So a lot of the powers you get are kind of like flavored like temporal things. Like there's one where you can like hit a button to like wherever you are, it like puts a flash there, like Echo in League of Legends.
Oh yeah,
you can press another button to go back to that flash, and there are puzzles you have to do that with.
Kind of like braid levels.
Yes.
Of like time rewind sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, like, though, I also just I also love games that reward the player for understanding the mechanics in and out when it comes to, like, replays, right? I've been replaying Metroid Zero Mission recently, and oh my god, can you sequence break in Metroid Zero Mission?
Zero Mission is so good.
It's fascinating to me.
Honestly, that's a contender for best Metroid game.
I completely agree with you, because it's like, I was going through it and I was like, okay, like, I just felt like playing through Metroid Zero Mission again, because, you know, I love me my Metroid games, I love Metroid Fusion, but like, okay, let's go Metroid Zero Mission. I forgot just how, all this for a bundle of arrows.
Oh, you did need arrows.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I completely forgot to do?
What?
Actually, no, now that I think about it, I can just go to the boss room and, like, teleport out. I probably should have used Pharaoh's Win at the beginning. But the last chest is on the bottom floor, so I can probably just head to the boss room from there and like get a quick teleport out.
Yeah, does the teleport out stay there? It probably does.
It does.
Right?
It does.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like I was like doing what I love about Metroid Zero Mission, and a lot of the Metroid games in particular, right?
Yeah.
Is that in order to beat them, you just need to understand the simple mechanics. Like, you need to understand, like, how to go through the game in a basic level, right?
Yeah.
And all in all, it's still a very rewarding experience! Crap. I forgot that thing raised.
Yeah.
But in order to complete the game, you need to master the mechanics. It's like, and like, I tried completing Metroid Zero Mission once upon a time. It's hard, dude.
You need to master the movement text.
It's one thing to like master like the speed booster, but no, you need to master the shine spark. You need to master the ball spark. You need to master freaking like infinite wall jumps. You need to master infinite bomb jumps. It's kind of insane just how much Zero Mission asks of you in order to be able to complete it.
Because I feel like they were looking at Super Metroid, kind of, and thought, like, okay, we've seen the crazy stuff people will do in Super Metroid that they've been doing for the past 10 years.
Oh, really?
So they knew they could put secrets in crazy places like that for Zero Mission, and people would still figure it out.
Yeah, and I've sequence broken the game. Like, I've been to places where I shouldn't have. I got to Kraid early.
Oh, cool.
But it's like, the game doesn't break apart from it, though, because eventually you're going to run into an unpassable situation. No matter what you do, you still need the super missiles in order to get past the super missile doors. But it's weirdly fun trying to go through the game like that, because it's a really good test of, like, just how much you can really push your limits, not just in the game, but also pushing the game itself. I love games that reward you for getting creative and doing stuff outside of what the developers might expect you to do. And yet the developers probably did expect you to do just that. Super Mario Odyssey is a great example, because it's like, there are so many places in Super Mario Odyssey where it's like, oh, it doesn't look like I should have gone up here. Turns out they put a pile of coins there, and it's like, developers, you knew I was gonna get up here, didn't you? I love that. I absolutely adore that.
There's a video series I think you'd like. It's on the channel Writing on Games. But he does a series called Boss Keys.
Oh?
And it's a breakdown of a bunch of different games. It started with Metroid games.
Yeah.
Where he basically just broke down, like, what the possible paths through Metroid games are, and, like, how the game is structured in, like, what you have to do in what order. And all the possible, like, what the intended choices to do that differently are, and what the sequence break kind of abilities are. So he does, like, all the Metroid games, because the first, like, season of it was every Metroid game, and then he ended by also doing Hollow Knight.
Oh, Hollow Knight is a great example of that.
Yeah, that has, like, a really interesting structure.
For me, when it came to Hollow Knight, I tested myself when it came to Hollow Knight as well, in regards to how to go about, like, navigating the world, right? Turns out you can do some seriously cool sequence break tricks in Hollow Knight by utilizing sword bounces.
Yeah.
And a lot of it involved sword bouncing with like walls of spikes, so you can get up to places where, like, oh, you clearly should not have come up here because, you know, oh, it
wants you to have Monarch wings before you come up
like
here.
Monarch wings, or like this is a place of no return where it's like, oh, you're supposed to just fall down, you're not supposed to go up here. But you can totally, like, get up here by abusing the hurt box of the sword when you swing down. And it gets even easier when you fight the Mantis Lords and get the Mark of Pride.
Yeah.
Because the Mark of Pride just, like, makes that trick so much easier. It's fascinating what you can do in Hollow Knight.
And then he also does it with Zelda games with, like, dungeon orders.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he also did one on Dark Souls. Because Dark Souls also has an interesting semi-open world with, like, places you can go and you don't have to go.
Oh, you know what? This isn't the place I'm supposed to go to.
That's alright, we're feeling it out. We're dungeon crawling.
Yeah. But no, like, I actually really like how Zelda, kind of, like, operates with that, because again, it's kind of one of those things like this game, for example, right? It is intended for you to tackle all of the dungeons in order, right? But it's not necessary. Like, if you go to,
Yeah, you can do the adult temples pretty out of order.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, like, understanding, like... The main reason that I don't think a lot of people do it, because you could also do it with, like, the kid dungeons as well, is the fact that, it involves you utilizing items that you get in those dungeons, but then you don't complete that dungeon.
Yeah.
Like, if you grab bombs into Dongo's cavern...
And then you just leave.
And then you just leave. You can absolutely do Jabu Jabu's belly before grabbing the, before even getting Goron's ruby.
Right, because you need bombs to get down Zora's River.
There we go. Oh, no, I need this. You said bombs,
I said
and my
bombs,
immediate
and you
thought went bombs.
Bombs. You want it?
No.
They're yours, my friend.
And actually, like, this is also kind of like, prime, like, real estate for the speedrunning community as well, because, people realize that in order to do the, 3-day challenge in, Majora's Mask, you actually kind of have to do the dungeons out of order.
Yeah.
Because, when you get certain things from certain other dungeons, you get things faster. I think, part of it involves, I don't exactly remember it, but it involves, getting an item from the Snowhead Temple as soon as possible, and then just going, and then making a beeline, for, what's it called?
You get fire arrows in Snowhead Temple, I think.
Yeah, and then, like, you gotta make a beeline for, the ranch, because, like, you need to get Epona pretty much as soon as possible.
So I gotta be honest about something.
Yeah?
I played Ocarina of Time all the way through a few times in my life. I think Majora's Mask I've only played all the way through once.
Really?
I think so.
I'm actually shocked to hear that.
I'm shocked to say it. I haven't really thought about it, but yeah, I think I've only played through it the one time.
Wow. Color me impressed.
Because I didn't get Majora's Mask on release. I got Ocarina of Time probably not too long after it released.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of forget because I wasn't, like, completely keyed into what games were coming out at the time.
Yeah.
You know, I was like 9 or 10. And I thought it was cool, but, like, as I've said before, I found it, like, really intimidating, and I, like, got stuck for a long time and then didn't really, like, keep playing it. I played other things.
Yeah.
And, like, this game was, like, pretty scary for me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
no, Majora's Mask, I
didn't even pick up Majora's Mask because Ocarina of Time was already, like, freaky for me.
Like, Ocarina of Time can get pretty darn scary, like, Shadow Temple being a prime example of this. And, Majora's Mask also doesn't hold back, because, you thought some of the stuff in this game was scary? Majora's Mask, like, gets a little dark.
I can remember going to a friend's house who had Majora's Mask. I can remember the commercials coming out. The commercials really emphasized the, like, you have 3 days mechanic, and I remember being over at a friend's house and not fully understanding how the game worked, but I just knew the 3 days thing.
Yeah.
I didn't get the, like, time loop aspect of it. And just, like, this is cool, but it seems really stressful. I just, like, wouldn't get anywhere in this game.
Yeah, time limits are always stressful.
So I didn't play Majora's Mask until Wind Waker came out, and that had the pre-order incentive with the collector's edition on GameCube that had Zelda's 1 and 2, Ocarina, and Majora's Mask.
Got it.
And that's when I played Majora's Mask after I played Wind Waker.
Okay. So, in your case, it was just like, little kid John, little kid Oscar.
Yeah.
Like, we played through these games, but let's be real for a moment. These games, damn, they can get pretty scary.
Yeah.
And, yeah, no, I remember going through Majora's Mask, and there were, like, a lot of, like, key moments in that game that freaked me the heck out. Well, we're going to experience it again, like, once we, like, play through the game on this channel, because that's what we're gonna do after this game, right?
Yeah.
But, like, probably the example that, like, hit me the most was in Ikana Valley when you go into the windmill. Those who know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Gypto scenario.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite scenes in the game now.
It's amazing. Like, it is an absolutely amazing moment, but damn
Yeah.
oh damn, was that frightening when
So-
you first encounter it.
A lot of Majora's Mask I first encountered as an older teen, whereas Ocarina of Time I first encountered the beginnings of it as a kid and then came back as a teen.
Right.
Because you ever think about the gaming logic that we take for granted now, but like when you haven't played a lot of games yet, you don't necessarily understand what it's telling you to do? Because
Enlighten me, because I'm a little curious as to, like, what you mean by that.
like, because this is gonna sound like, wow, like, you were a freaking idiot, but my first time playing Ocarina of Time, I got stuck in the Great Deku Tree in the room where you get the slingshot. I got the slingshot, and I couldn't figure out how to get out of the room, because it didn't occur to me to shoot the ladder down, even though the game tells you when you pick up the slingshot that's something it can do, and Navi's highlighting the ladder. I think I was even, like, targeting the ladder, like, having Navi explain it. I think Navi's even saying you could shoot this down, but I just, like, I was not connecting A and B.
Yeah.
And nowadays, you know, I have such a gaming sense of, like, oh, I'm going to use the item I just got. That's why it's in this room. The developer wouldn't make you trapped in this room. They're going to make it so that you have to use the item to get out of the room.
Yup.
But that just, you know, when I was, like, 9 or whatever, just was not computing.
Yeah, no, that's a funny thing that I find fascinating in a lot of cases when it comes to just gaming in general is, yeah, guys, you may accuse some games of being handholdy, and in some situations they can be, don't get me wrong. But don't take for granted the simple, the simple task that a game has to do of just telling you how shit works.
And some games are made for people who aren't playing video games all the time.
Exactly.
Like,
As a matter of fact, yeah.
Just about everybody watching this video, I'm sure, is somebody with a decent, like, video game logic sense.
And it's one of those things. I think I remember some people complaining about how, oh gosh, what was it? I don't remember the game, but no, I do remember. It was Guilty Gear.
Okay.
So how I know too many people who like looked at the Guilty Gear Strive specifically and like looked at the new system, the new mechanics, and they were like, oh, like they simplified a lot of things. They made a lot of maneuvers a little bit like easier to manage. Or Street Fighter 6 gave us the simple, the modern control scheme, where instead of doing the like classic like button inputs like quarter circle forward, instead you can do a Hadouken but just by pressing forward punch.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, a lot of people accused developers of like babifying these games, like idiot-proofing them, and it's like, guys, you gotta understand that, like, at the end of the day, developers, like, have two jobs. One, keeping a fan base. That is important. But the more important one is gaining a fan base.
Yeah, most companies want to be getting more people than they currently have buying their products.
And let's not pretend that fighting games and a lot of other games out there are not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, and not everyone is gonna be able to do that. Like, there are so many people out there who do not have the capabilities of doing pretzel motion just to get Geese's, like, freaking Raging Storm off. Not a lot of people too many people out there are not gonna know how to do a Raging Demon. Or the finger-breaking combos that you might expect from, like, some other things.
Yeah, I can't really execute. I'm sure if I kept practicing, I could do the things I need to do to play a fighting game, but that was... Trying to get into Street Fighter 2, I was kind of, like, heartbroken to realize, like, oh, it's not like Smash Brothers where it's just, like, the strategy of knowing what moves to use when. It's also, like, am I going to do the move right when the pressure is on?
Yup.
Because, like... Getting started, I didn't always do a proper Shoryuken when I tried to do a Shoryuken. My hands didn't always do what I wanted them to.
Yup. And imagine trying to do, like... Imagine the average Smash player trying to figure out Terry's, like, go meter with, like, those inputs.
Shoryuken is, like, pretty tame on the level of
of Terry,
complicated.
Yeah, like Terry's like freaking Buster Wolf, because like you need to do quarter circle back, full circle forward, and then the punch button in order to do what you wanted to do there.
I first played Street Fighter 2 on the Wii Virtual Console, and I can remember like, all right, I'm starting to get into this. Let me like look up some combos so that let me look up the inputs and looking at the like arrow patterns for some of the moves and just going, what?
Yup. So I was thinking of doing a couple of things like before we head back to finish off Ganon's Tower, because I figured like what we could probably do is like dedicate the next episode to just completely like going through Ganon's Tower.
Okay, and then yeah, maybe last episode for the big man himself.
Yeah. Because I remember there's a couple of places here that I'm just curious. Because we found some really crazy ass like Sheikah stones in some very unique places. And I want to check them out.
Okay, cool.
So, what are some of the locations where we saw a Sheikah stone where you're just like, there's a Sheikah stone here? Okay, let's see what it says.
I don't really remember. I know there were some in Gerudo Valley.
There's one in Gerudo Valley where it's like we had to find that one Skulltula here, and like it's behind one of the burnable walls. So I want to check that one out first. Another one I want to check out is that there is that one inside of Death Mountain.
Yeah.
Like in that little crevice wall.
We were just setting up Tears of the Kingdom for Allie to play on the Switch too, because she plays Tears of the Kingdom a lot, but we just moved her profile over to my Switch too and set up the like new voice memo thing.
Oh yeah, for the Zelda notes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, which is pretty cool. And I was just thinking that's kind of what these remind me of.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather, those remind me of the rumor stones.
Okay, so it's somewhere here, I believe. Or was it near a tree?
I don't completely remember.
Oh no, I think it's over there. Come on, Sword of Agony. Yep, there you are. I'll admit, a small part of me wishes that we had this, like, mask for a good,
for longer in the game.
There it is.
Yeah, you're gonna need some fire. There's also one at the base of the Great Deku Tree.
Oh, yeah. Whoopsie. Missed it.
Oh yeah, and there's a cow down here. Luckily, cows are fireproof.
Yeah, for some reason it does that.
Yeah.
When you hit it with fire. Responding to your mask, this strange stone statue talks to you. I overheard this. They say that there is a switch that you can activate only by using the spin attack. I'm going to assume that's the one in the water temple.
Yeah, sometimes you can do spin attacks through gates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said that they fixed that, or they changed that in
3D. They put it. Yeah, they made it so that you didn't have to hit it through the gate.
So what does that Sheikah stone say in the new one? Because it's like that doesn't apply there anymore.
I actually have a Gossip Stone guide pulled up, so I could probably find out.
Huh.
I mean, yeah, you could just look all these up, but that's not as fun.
I mean, okay, tell you what. Go through that list of Gossip Stones, because we got some time here. Go through that list of Gossip Stones, and, like, tell me which ones in particular, you would find the most fun, and I will travel to there. Because I just generally like these. And, like, my personal favorite is the one near Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, the one about being a tomboy.
Yeah, about Zelda being a tomboy. Heck yeah. In the meantime, I will make my way towards not Lost Woods, Kokiri Forest, because I can check out the one next to the Deku Tree. Luckily, we have all the songs, so we can, like, easily travel to and fro from here if we need to. Okay, P-Hat, I don't want to mess with you. You get away. Do not disturb me. Thank you. Any good ones yet?
Sacred Forest Meadow
Oh, really?
is one, yeah.
Oh, the one on top of the maze, right?
I think so, yeah.
Alright, yeah, no, I remember that one. That's an easy one.
There should be 2 at the base of the Great Deku Tree, actually.
Oh, okay. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, you guys go away. So, I know there's one to the side. Are there, like, one on each side?
Yeah.
I don't see one here.
Huh.
Unless they added one in the, in 3D Remake?
That's totally possible. Yeah, because this guide is for the 3DS version.
Okay, well, there's one here. Responding to your mask, the strange stone statue talks to you. I overheard this. They say that the Kokiri are always followed by small fairies.
Okay, I mean, it looks like you can't get to the one... It looks like there isn't one on the other side, yeah.
Yeah, the one you're thinking might be from the remake?
Yeah, it says just to the southeast of the Great Deku Tree. Could you look one more time? I think this might be in vain, but...
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Okay, because interestingly, what that Gossip Stone says, at least in 3D,
Yeah?
is it says, they say that one Kokiri has left the forest, but he is still alive.
Oh! Oh, that's interesting.
Which I don't know what the implications of that are.
I mean...
Is it referring to Link, who is not a Kokiri, but everybody thought of him as one?
That's true.
Is it, like, a reference to, like, Fado, whose ghost is in Wind Waker?
It could also refer to Saria, because technically she leaves the forest when she becomes a sage.
That could be, but it says he
Like,
is still alive.
oh,
so I
he, okay.
don't think... Yeah.
Yeah, nope, you're right.
Also, I don't know if the Gossip Stones are all-knowing. I think they really are just, like, trading gossip.
Fair.
Because that's what...
I mean, the Sheikah developed these things, right?
Yeah.
So it's like...
That's what the Sheikah would use them for.
Responding to your mask, the strange stone talks to you. I overheard this. They say that the small holes in the ground that you find all over Hyrule make perfect breeding grounds for bugs.
Yeah, a lot of these are giving, like, hints.
Yeah. I just realized that's funny, too, because it's, like, breeding grounds... Oh, yeah, because, like, you get, like... Okay, are the breeding grounds the holes, or are the breeding grounds the jar that you catch them in?
Yeah, because that's where they multiply.
I'm gonna check the Sacred Forest Meadow. Yeah, we're not gonna spend too much time with this because we are, like, coming up short on these loose ends. Because as far as I'm concerned, that was pretty much all the loose ends we needed to deal with, right? Because I know there's a couple of Deku's business scrubs that we could visit in order to increase the inventory of our, like, sticks and, like, nuts and whatnot, but I don't think we really need that.
Yeah.
I think we're fine. I think we can live without that. Responding to your mask, this strange stone statue talks to you. I overheard this. They say that it's possible to find a total of 100 gold Skulltulas throughout Hyrule. So there you go. That one tells you that one.
Okay, there is another one that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the one on top of the maze, right?
Yeah. I think there's actually 2 more.
There it is. Oh, there are 2.
Yeah.
You're right.
Did you see recently Gaijin Goomba did a video devoted to Gossip Stones, actually?
No, I didn't, actually. I'll have to check that out later.
Yeah, he's making connections to Gaelic mythology with them.
Ooh, okay. They say that strange owl, Kepra Gebra, may look big and heavy, but its character is rather lighthearted. Yeah, we found that one out.
Okay, and this is the more important one.
They say that the owl named Kepra Gebra is the reincarnation of an ancient sage.
So that's where the theory crafting really starts.
Got you. Okay.
There's another one in Death Mountain Crater maybe we want to check out.
Yeah, I believe there might be a couple, but I know the one that's like up in the upper part of the crater. Kinda have to make this quick, though.
Yeah. Should be near the climbing wall, to your left.
Well, I can't make it there because of the giant pool of lava. Can I actually, like... I don't even know if I can make it up there at all.
Oh, maybe you need to come in here from the other side.
Probably. Sorry, I'm just curious here. Yeah, I think I need to make it here via Kakariko Village.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can take a little bit more time.
But there's a story in particular in, like, Celtic and Gaelic mythology of, like, there's a lot of, like, important stones.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories of, like, there'll be a weird-shaped rock and there'll be a story behind why that rock is that shape.
I actually do know a little bit about this. Speaking of which, they say that there is a secret near a tree in Kakariko Village. Yep, we found that one. I actually do know a little bit about this because,
Oh, you just got back from jolly old Dublin.
Yep. Amber and I spent a week in Dublin, Ireland, and it was really, really fun. And yeah, stone structures were very, very important to a lot of the people during those times, particularly during the time of like the Anglo-Saxons, the Nordic raiders, and all that jazz. Not just with Gaelic folklore, because the one I'm most familiar with is in Norse mythology. They were very reverent of the warriors who died in battle. So what they did was they posted runestones throughout battlefields where those warriors fell, and every single one of those runestones had like markings, like texts, and like depictions of that warrior's story. Like who the warrior was, who they fought for, like what their names were, and everything. And that was the whole thing with runestones being very important in their culture, and why we also see similar situations like this with the Sheikah stones and whatnot. Which, again, makes a little bit of sense, because I do still hold on to that, like, theory that Legend of Zelda borrows a lot from Celtic.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I can totally believe it.
Down with, like, Epona, who is, like, Celtic goddess of horses.
Yup.
And it's probably where the word pony comes from.
Actually, now that I think about it, is there one in here?
Could be.
Nope, just the cow.
Just the cow. I mean, we could talk to the cow, but...
Oh yeah, didn't you say that we would be able to talk to Epona with the Mask of Truth?
I believe so, yeah. And we could talk to cows with the Mask of Truth. We could talk to dogs with the Mask of Truth.
Hang on a sec, I'm gonna go test this out now, because I've actually never done it.
Hold up, I need to talk to this cow.
Your opinions of a cow in Mario Kart World, by the way.
Honestly, not even the weirdest character in that game.
Fair.
Cow's probably one of my preferred characters to play because I like the heavy characters. Oh no, can you not talk?
Nope.
Okay, my bad.
Because, like, I know you can talk to those cows by, like, playing Epona's song.
Oh, right, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
And I know in Majora's Mask, you do get that one mask that lets you, talk to animals.
Yeah. Well, I think that is the Mask of Truth of Majora's Mask.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I think... Yeah, I think what I'm getting wrong is that it does not have that function in Ocarina of Time, but it does in Majora's Mask.
Got it,
Because that's how you cheat the dog races.
Yep. See, the thing is, like, do you cheat it, or did the developers, like, intended for you to do that?
I think, well, they did, because they put specific dialogue where each dog tells you how it's feeling before the race.
Yup.
In-universe, you're kind of cheating the dog race.
Fair,
But
fair.
by game design logic, that's the intended solution.
I mean, it's not like we're strangers to cheating in this game, after all. We use the lens of truth to get past the treasure minigame.
I was just about to say that, yeah. Same thing, it is a developer-intended cheat.
So how does it feel to be a cheater, Link?
Look. We're trying to save the world, okay? A little bit of cheating here and there I don't think is unwarranted.
Fair enough.
Speaking of which, they say that Begoron's sword is super sharp and will never break. I'm starting to realize just how simple a lot of these hints are.
Yeah. But I gotta think, like, if you're playing this game blind and you happen to come across that dialogue before doing the Begoron quest, you'd be like, what? What's Begoron's sword?
That's true.
How do I get that? And that might prompt you to...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You were talking about, like, taking certain things, like, from game design for granted nowadays. I do feel like we take for granted just how, like...
How much we already know about this game.
Yes, I am going to fully admit that. So this is the one.
I think so.
They say that Metagoron didn't really think about his own size, so his store is really crap.
Yeah. He accidentally made his store too small.
Oh, that's funny.
Or I kind of wonder if he made the store and then he kept growing, like a hermit crab, and just was kind of like, uh-oh.
So is he basically just stuck in there?
I think he's just stuck in there.
Oh god, that's terrible.
I think that's why he's, like, one of the only people still there, too, because he can't go anywhere.
You would think that Volvagia would be totally set for life with a Goron like that. That's terrible, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so did, like... Did Ganon's forces go to Goron City and take a bunch of people, or did the Gorons go out to fight the dragon and all got captured?
Good question!
I feel like Link the Goron probably specifies which it is, but thinking on it now, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and finish this off right here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and be, let's be a little bit proactive in figuring out more about these gossip stones. Those of you guys in the comments, what is your favorite tidbit that you learned from these gossip stones? And someone clarify if, like, it is actually different in the 3D remake, because now I'm curious about that. I might check out my own game myself on that one.
Yeah, I'm about to crack open my 3DS and go to that exact spot and be like, here! It's here! I'm not crazy!
Yup. But we are coming towards the end of this adventure, so thank you guys so much for joining us for this. In the next episode, we start Ganon's Tower. See you all then.
They say this Let's Play is going to end in 2 episodes.
God damn you.